And now, Knock 2 Studios presents Common Censored.
People talk glibly about science. What is science? People coming out of a university with a master's degree or a PhD, you take them into the field and they literally don't believe anything unless there's a peer-reviewed paper. It's the only thing they accept. And you say to them, but let's observe, let's think, let's discuss. They don't do it. It's just, is it in a peer-reviewed paper or not? That's their view of science. I think it's pathetic. Gone into universities as bright young people. They come out of them brain dead, not even knowing what science means. They think it means peer-reviewed papers, etc. No, that's academia. And if a paper is peer-reviewed, it means everybody thought the same, therefore they approved it. An unintended consequence is that when new knowledge emerges, new scientific insights, they can never, ever be peer-reviewed. So we're blocking all new advances in science that are big advances. If you look at the breakthroughs in science, almost always they don't come from the center of that profession. They come from the fringe. The finest candle makers in the world couldn't even think of electric lights. They don't come from within. They often come from outside the breaks. We're going to kill ourselves because of stupidity.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Common Censored. That's right, the finest of all the candle makers. Could never imagine electric lights. And I commented on that post. Also, this is from Bright Insight. Jimmy Corsetti at Bright Insight 6. Scientist warning. We're going to kill ourselves because of stupidity. Yep. And I replied saying some of the dumbest and most non-thinking people I've ever interacted with are PhDs. And look at it. He replied to himself. And if the last few years of Trust the Science hasn't exposed this, perhaps nothing will. That's right. Just blindly only believing in peer-reviewed papers. You know what that is? It's a combination of a couple different logical fallacies. We've got the appeal to authority logical fallacy, like, oh, well, it's been reviewed by the scientists. It's peer-reviewed. It must be legit. Ed Hoskins, what's up, dude? Hope the site's working for you. And also the bandwagon logical fallacy that, oh, if everybody's saying it, it must be true. So just more examples of schools churning out people who are taught to regurgitate and not to think for themselves, the exact opposite of what we need. Welcome, all of you censored commoners, on today's Tuesday broadcast. Thanks for joining me today. This is Common Censored, and I'm Lord Sterling. This is episode 153. And as usual, we've got all kinds of crazy clown world chaos to cover today. What do you know? Bet you never would have guessed that. All kinds of madness, as usual. We've got a dude in a hammock in a city bus causing havoc. Havoc. I couldn't resist that on the thumbnail today. We've got an MMA fighter threatening Ben Shapiro, at least hypothetically, which is a fun video. We've got a dude from Antifa suggesting that it's time to retire the black bloc, which is how they dress up in black when they do their shenanigans, their illegalities. So they're evolving. They're going to become chameleons and blend in with the regular sane people if they abandon the black bloc, which is their uniform. And I remember when I was back on that stupid podcast in 2020, when the pandemic was kicking off, I was explaining to the people that the all black is their uniform. and they're so uninformed of the history of Antifa and the black bloc's prevalence for decades and decades in Europe before moving to the U.S. At around Occupy Wall Street time, that they were like, oh, I can't wear black. I can't wear black. What? It's because I'm black and I'm wearing black. This guy was saying, no, it's a known, communist or anti-fascist, fascist outfit. That's what they do. It's just what they do, man. So make sure to join us Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m.-ish Eastern time. I think I hit it exactly on 3:30 today. So we're making progress with that. I got the the thumbnail done in record time. 6:30 p.m. Eastern time-ish. Make sure to use hashtag #CommonCensored when you share the show on X, where you can find us at _CommonCensored. If you want to support the show, you can head over to our link tree /CommonCensored, linkter.ee/CommonCensored. And I'm not sure what happened to my little banner that I made for that. Oh, here it is. You want to support the show? Booyah. You can head on over there. Thanks in advance for that. All of the links to the articles and content and videos and everything we discussed today will be posted down in the description after the show. Gator, good to see you, brother. The family is gathered, Gator says. Good evening to you all. And a good evening to you as well, good sir. And thanks, Mom Mac, for adding timestamps to the video, to the articles and links in the description. So if you're pressed on time and you need to maximize the efficiency of your attention, you can click down there if you're not watching live. Find the stories that interest you, jump to the timestamps so you can hit them bada bing, bada boom, one after another. Make sure to also check out alplama.com, your new herbal health guru and the unofficial sponsor of Common Censored. Mama Mac and fam will take good care of you over there with a remedy for every ailment that may be bothering you. They got a tincture for everything. So check them out. Disclaimer. Views expressed on Common Censored are only opinions. Assume everything we say is false and research for yourself. We are not giving medical, legal, or financial advice. The only advice we are giving is think for yourself. Question authority. Think for yourself. Question authority. And don't listen to Mama Mac down there telling you to think for authority and question yourself. We know better than that, Mama Mac. Alpalama. Yuck. It tastes so bad, but it's also so good for you. That's right, Mama Mac. Okay, let's hop into some stories. I like that clip of that archaeologist or whatever talking about how people don't think, the students are just programmed to regurgitate and to trust in other people's judgment. So I say, think for yourself, question authority. Let's hop over to this Trump truth Jones posted yesterday, or he reposted Jack Posobiec posting it. Trump just posted this. Take a look at this epic video of the crowd from Wildwood, New Jersey over the weekend. Massive crowd. This is great. Good stuff. The revolution is now. Be a part of it. We are going to dominate this election as long as we're able to keep the theft in check, which is, the jury's still out on that. Who knows if we'll be able to do that. But I mean, man, when was the last time you saw Joe Biden get a crowd like that? Oh, that's right. Never. He has like people inside of circles, like a dozen people with a dozen circles at a rally. Dude, it's pathetic. It's pathetic. Biden is a joke. In other White House related news, we have the White House admitting the Biden-led witch hunt trial against Trump is, quote, related to 2024 elections. Oh, no, you didn't, cringe Jean-Pierre. White House Press Secretary Cringe Jean-Pierre on Tuesday admitted the Biden-led witch hunt against President Trump is, quote, related to 2024 elections, unquote. Speaker Mike Johnson appeared at the New York courthouse on Tuesday in support of Trump as Biden's goons used lawfare to interfere in the 2024 election. We got another story about that, too. with Vivek and Byron Donalds and a bunch of people showing up to support Trump in New York. Lou Valentino's been on the ground too. Good job with your man on the street coverage, Lou. Good to see that. AP reporter Amr Madani asked KJP if it was appropriate that Mike Johnson defended Trump from Biden's lawfare. Was it appropriate for Speaker Johnson to show up at the trial of the former president today? A hack reporter for the Associated Press asked Cringe Jean-Pierre. Let's check out the video to see her answer.
Was it appropriate for Speaker Johnson to show up at the trial of the former president today?
So look, I can't speak to, don't want to comment, obviously, as this is related to 2024 elections, and I can't speak to the Speaker's schedule. That is something for him to decide on, and let's not forget, this is also
How is that related to 2024 elections?
connected to a
because
judicial,
it's meant to
process.
railroad him.
And so going to be really mindful, and he makes his choices on what he does, with his business. That is his choice to be made.
Looks just like it's your choice to associate the Trump trials with the 2024 election. Maybe not the best choice of words, Batman. So you can check out the link in the video in the description if you want to check out the rest of that video. But she basically admits it right there, so why even bother listening further? We also have a story about potential witness tampering as Biden ally Rep. Goldman admits meeting with Michael Cohen, quote, many times to, quote, prepare him, unquote, for testimony in the Biden-Bragg trial. Doesn't sound like a smart plan, to say that out loud, just like KJP. New York Congressman Dan Goldman, a staunch Democrat and ally of Joe Biden, has openly admitted to multiple preparatory meetings with Michael Cohen, the controversial former attorney for President Donald Trump, ahead of his testimony in the sham Biden-Bragg trial. During an appearance on NBC's Morning Joe. Oh, did I say MSNBC? I meant MSDNC. During an appearance on MSDNC's Morning Joe, Rep. Goldman made the candid admission that he met with Michael Cohen a number of times to prepare him. I don't think there's anybody in news media that's worse than Joe Scarborough. He's just unbearable to listen to.
And I have deposed Michael Cohen. I have met with him a number of times to prepare him.
There you have it. So, witness tampering? Could be. Goldman, an attorney, previously served as lead counsel in the first impeachment of former President Donald Trump and was an assistant United States attorney in the Southern District of New York before running for office. Very interesting. Very interesting. However, now Rep. Goldman's involvement with Cohen is now under intense scrutiny, despite acknowledging Cohen's dubious credibility and being a convicted perjurer, stating that he, quote, is an admitted perjurer, an admitted liar. Goldman's interactions with Cohen are being suspected by some as a deliberate attempt to shape his narrative against Trump. Yeah, probably. The same thing in all these freaking cases, man. The Jack Smith case. We've got Fannie and Co. meeting with the White House. We've got Joe Biden implanting Michael Colangelo into Alvin Bragg's office. It's all coordinated. It's all related to the 2024 election. Thanks, Cringe Jean-Pierre, for saying the quiet part out loud there. So in other news, with convicted perjurer Michael Cohen, he testified claiming he lied and went to prison to protect Trump. Well, Mr. Cohen, were you lying then, or are you lying now? Completely end of discussion. That's all the cross-examination needs to say. Were you lying then, or are you lying now, Michael Cohen? And take those nuts out of your mouth so that we can understand you when you're talking. Biden's nuts, to clarify. Let's jump into our next story. If you want more on that, you can jump into the description, click that. We don't need to go through all the little details. There's so much to cover. We just got to keep moving. You get the gist, right, of that story. Let's see. We have Mayor Mike Adams. Oh my God. Mayor Eric Adams. Eric Adams proposing. This is like the most insane nonsense you could possibly imagine. He proposes hiring illegal immigrants as lifeguards to address New York City shortage because they're excellent swimmers. You can't be serious. And how is there a lifeguard shortage in New York City? There's like 8 million people in New York City. There's no shortage of people who can swim. Okay. Like, it's ridiculous. Mayor Eric Adams has once again ignited controversy with his latest comments on the city's lifeguard shortage. Yeah, because there's so many places to swim in the city. The mayor has suggested that illegal immigrants could be the solution to New York City's staffing woes, specifically because, quote, they're excellent swimmers. This eyebrow-raising connection was made by Mayor Adams during a City Hall briefing when pressed about the challenges facing the city's beaches and pools. With Memorial Day approaching and no clear resolution in sight, Adams proposed expediting migrant work visas for these critical roles. Wow. Let's check out the video.
Plan that states those.
Sorry for the volume. It's really low. I'm going to be really quiet for the next 27 seconds.
Plan that states those jobs that we are in high demand, we could expedite. How do we have a large body of people that are in our city and country that are excellent swimmers, and at the same time we need lifeguards? And the only obstacle is that we won't give them the right to work to become a lifeguard.
Freezing. I think it's just you, Ed, but damn, I feel good seeing you in chat, man. Glad to see you back there. I hope that that Rumble isn't fucking up too bad for you. So yeah, Eric Adams is a complete lunatic. Well, they swim across the border river, so they must be so good at swimming. Why don't we hire them as lifeguards? These people are a joke. This is the kind of mental fortitude that you New Yorkers have elected as your mayor. Take a second and think about that, please. And while all of this crazy bullshit is going on in the news, some things are not being covered in the news anymore. Version 4, at Steve Loves Ammo, illuminating us with a little bit of perspective here. While all this bullshit is in the news, things that aren't in the news include Maui wildfires, East Palestine, Ohio, Joe Biden classified documents as senator, Fauci working with China to create a bioweapon, Pete Buttigieg's best friend in prison for child prawns, cocaine in the White House, the data collected from the Chinese spy balloons, Ukraine intelligence documents released that showed they were suffering massive losses and the American taxpayer was being lied to, Nancy Pelosi's, quote, documentary film crew, all prepared and ready for J6, veterans being kicked out of shelters to make room for illegals, Pizzagate, quote, debunker, unquote, jailed for possession of prawns of the chilblains variety, gay prawn film in Senate hearing room. Remember that? That staffer? That was the grossest story of all time. Veterans Affairs prioritizing healthcare of illegals over veterans. Afghanistan drawdown and 13 service members killed in an attack on the Kabul International Airport. Not to mention abandoning $80+ billion worth of gear and ammunition and weapons over there. 3 service members killed in Jordan. Hunter Biden making over $1 million for paintings. J6 political prisoners still in jail. 85,000 missing children at the southern border. Ooh, there's going to be some information coming out about that tomorrow on Unique Prepping's channel. Make sure to tune in as he covers the Save the Children situation. That's going to be big. Crazy connections, crazy stuff going on. Everybody make sure to tune in and subscribe to Unique Prepping on YouTube and Rumble right now to get that story tomorrow. Also, we have Epstein's clients not in the news, Obama coordinating with John Brennan and 4 other countries, the Five Eyes, to spy on the Trump 2016 campaign, not in the news, mail-in ballots for the cause of the stolen 2020 election, not in the news, Jeffrey Epstein monitoring that Bill Clinton liked his girls, mentioning that Bill Clinton liked his girls really young, not in the news. All of these things, not in the news. P. Diddy sex trafficking allegations, not in the news. Gonzalo Lira, not in the news. The U.S. House scumbags waving the Ukraine flags. Not in the news. That's right, Ed. Get those wood chippers ready. Ladies and gentlemen, start your wood chippers. Ladies and gentlemen, sharpen your spikes. After due process, of course, Papa Smurf. What's up? Oh, we got Omega Boss. Omega in the chat over there too, somewhere on YouTube. Yeah, there he is. Big Ugly on YouTube holding it down too. Omega Directive. Thanks everybody for joining on YouTube, joining all over the place. Glad you're with us today. Mama Mac, thanks. Make sure to smash that like button. Share the broadcast now because everything's going to keep getting crazier as we go. Oh, man. The news just never ends. And all these things that should be in the news are forgotten because the news cycle is like 12 hours now. It's not even a 24-hour news cycle at this point. I get people messaging telling me that they like this show because I talk about things that they didn't hear in the morning because there's new news by the end of the day. New news. Shit is crazy. It's ridiculous. So the news isn't covering any of these important topics that are actually important, but it's okay because Doctor Who is gay and black now, you know? So everything's okay. Let's just not worry about any of this stuff.
Really very serious. With all my adventures throughout time and space.
All my adventures through time and space?
There's always a twist at the end.
This is Doctor Who? Are you fucking kidding me? Yep, Mohop. Michelle Obama's a man. That's the twist. Bada bing, bada boom! It's the truth, allegedly. Hashtag defund the BBC. Tommy Robinson over here. I gotta follow Tommy. How am I not following Tommy? Tommy's the man. As will come of no surprise to anyone, the BBC's new Doctor Who is now a black homosexual. That's right. That's right, Doctor Who. He was fine as just a regular old dude. Regular old British white dude, you know, for decades. Then he had to be a woman. Now he's got to be a black guy, gay guy. Just, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean? They had the formula of Doctor Who is at least good enough so that it had millions of fans for literal decades, like 40 seasons of the show. Just stick with the proven formula. You don't have to go in and do everything horrible. Did he have a list? I wasn't even listening, Papa Smurf. He probably did have a list, didn't he? Oh, big ugly. Damn, bro. I don't know what's going on with Rumble. Sorry, man. I really wish there was something I could do. In other insanity, the WHO Pandemic Preparedness Treaty is being considered and debated in secret. What the fuck? What in the hell is up with that? At No to Woke BS, posting this. Tell me why the Pandemic Preparedness Treaty is being voted on in secret. This essentially hands over all decision-making and mandates to a single entity that have proven they don't care about you or me. They lied about the vaccine. They're lying about the excess deaths. They will murder millions more in the name of healthcare, and nobody will have the power to stop them. They will essentially be above the law. Why, as taxpayers who fund our governments, would we be kept in the dark about this? The next time there's a pandemic, it will mean complying or being unable to continue with a normal life. Wake up! Let's check out this redonkulousness over here.
Yeah, all listen to this.
The political declaration on pandemic prevention, preparedness, and response. In May 2024, 194 member states of the WHO will have their final vote on both of these international agreements. This process takes place behind closed doors.
That's right, Ed.
It is not reported nor discussed in our newspapers, in our national parliaments, in universities, nor in society. The WHO claims in these two legal instruments an absolute and non-questionable leadership in all health matters. As soon as WHO refers itself to pandemic prevention, preparedness, and response.
So yeah, they're coming to take over national sovereignty and destroy, ruin, obliterate the autonomy of nations and make it so that they can decide what a lockdown is and how they react to it, how all the countries have to react and respond. They want to destroy you. You know this to be true. Search your feelings, young Padawans. This is insane. Absolutely insane. Chaos at the WHO, chaos in France as armed gang members attack a prison convoy, kill 2 guards, wound another 3, and free the dangerous drug dealer known as the Fly. That's right, the Fly is on the loose. He's on the move. You gotta get him. What the fuck? The Fly. Oh man. Who's the guy, that movie The Fly? Is Jeff Goldblum in that? Was he? I can't remember what he says when he's on the web and he's all tiny, but hilarious. Post-colonial fading power France, the land of the frogs, is in a constant state of turmoil. La République is bracing itself for the hosting of the 2024 Summer Olympics in 73 days. Holy shit, that's going to be brutal. The tiny king, le petit roi. Roi. That's a fun one to pronounce. It was one of the things I learned from my friend, one of my best friends who was from France. We are the kings. Nous sommes les rois. The petit roi, the small king, Emmanuel Macron, former Rothschild banker and globalist poster boy, runs around the world pretending he's relevant, trying to make people forget he just presided over the expulsion of France from all the African Sahel former colonies. Back home, society is ailing from the usual mix of failed, crippling European policies. Unchecked mass migration deforming the social fabric, green climate alarmism, welfare state killing free enterprise, the rampant culture of death enshrining abortion in the Constitution, and now pushing for euthanasia. Just submit. Just last year, Macron changed the citizens' pension rules by decree, generating a season of protest because the French state is broke. But now, of course, he finds billions upon billions of euros to give Ukraine and pushes to send European troops into the war. All the while, crime is thriving and the forces of order look more and more frail every day. Like they've been drinking too much soy. A dangerous drug lord who was a prisoner is now on the run in France. He escaped after an attack that left 2 prison guards dead, like out of something from a movie. He was being transported in a prison van when heavily guarded and hooded gang members ambushed the convoy straight out of a movie. Sky News reported the escaped prisoner, it's Australian, right? The escaped prisoner is Mohamed Amra, who's nicknamed La Mouche or The Fly, according to reports by French media. The 30-year-old is a drug dealer from northern France, police sources said. 3 prison guards were killed, and the gang member managed to escape. Holy hell. Watch! Armed gang members ambush a van transporting gang leader Mohamed the Fly in Incarville.
Le gros braquage au péage.
Holy
Trop
balls,
baiser.
man. It's like right out of, so many movies where this happens. That's insane. So France is devolving into a lawless shithole, just like so many other places around the world. Meanwhile, in Russia, or in Ukraine, technically, the Russians are closing in on Kharkov. Northern offensive. Russian troops enter Volchansk, Kharkov city, almost in artillery range. Meanwhile, Kiev doesn't have any more reserves available. Uh-oh. The North Front opened by Russia. Karma's a bitch. Ukraine. You bomb the Donbass, the Donbass region for years, trying to trigger Russia into a war, and now you don't even have any ammo. Zelensky, maybe you should, stop being an idiot and being a puppet for the people who are going to pink mist you as soon as you're not useful anymore. It's so ridiculous, man. So that's happening. They're closing in on Kharkov, the north front opened by Russia in the Kharkov Oblast continues to overextend the already outgunned, outmanned, and outmaneuvered Ukrainian forces that try to hold the northern wind without losing any more terrain in the East Donetsk region. While the Russian Federation forced probing several points along the 600-mile-long front line, it is increasingly clear that the defenders are very near a collapse of their lines. This is especially if this bit of information that has arisen gets confirmed. It says current advances in Kharkov would be just a, quote, reconnaissance in force, and the real attack operation is still to be unleashed. The information comes from retired Ukrainian SBU Colonel Oleg Starikov. According to him, the main forces will be brought into battle only after a bridgehead has been created. So this is escalating over there. You fuck around, you find out. Volodymyr Zelensky. So you guys can read the article if you want more information on that. Russia closing in, Ukraine running out of ammo. Ed, you know what's up with that. Ammo. Alpha boss. Latvia came out today and said that they may send troops to take on support roles in the rear to free up manpower to the front. Very interesting. Alpha boss. Mama Mac saying, apparently the Ukrainians stole the money we gave them and never spent it on the defenses they were supposed to buy. That's right. 70% of those funds were missing at one point. Let's see if we can find evidence of that on X. 70% Ukraine aid missing. Other reports also indicate 70% of aid to Ukraine goes missing. That's right. Steel trap in my brain. This was from July 23rd, 2023, where this was coming out. So, booyah, 70% at that point potentially missing. There were Russian diplomats caught at the border, Ukrainian diplomats caught at the border with briefcases of cash as well. That one's not fine. not finding that one, but it's true. It's true. Yeah, Ukrainian cunts. This is quoting me. Look, it's my post that popped up. There is no oversight. Ukrainian politician's wife caught at border with $29 million in cash. Ukrainian cunts are taking millions of U.S. cash in briefcases and fleeing across the border with our taxpayer money. So that's pretty interesting. This is a flashback to the Gateway Pundit. They're stealing all of our dough, Mama Mac and co. Nice, Ed. Yeah, feel free to jump on if you want. You got the link. It should still work. Oh, man. What a joke. What a joke. Oh, thanks, Mama Mac. I'll add these links to the description after where you're posting there. Give me 1 second, guys, to add this info to the show notes for you guys to have as references, easily accessible after the broadcast ends, in case you want to school any of your, less up-to-date friends on all of this stuff. Oh, man. All right, let's see. What do we got next? Oh, Biden gun control hypocrisy. This is a post that I thought was worth sharing. Wall Street Silver at Wall Street Silv. Whenever Biden talks about gun control, just remember he was vice president of an administration that ran illegal guns to Mexican drug cartels. Operation Fast and Furious. Oh, God, Alpha Boss. That's not good. Let's jump over to Alpha Boss's comments down here. Blinken was in Kiev today, and John Kerry said an aid package is being sent. F-16s to arrive by June. We just keep supporting it on our fucking dime. God damn, that's so annoying, man. So annoying. Yeah, there's video of him, playing guitar, lefty, in some bar. Keep on rocking in the free world. Playing some fucking, was that Tom Petty or something? Yeah. So that's pretty brutal. Yeah. Obama smuggled guns to the Mexican cartels, some of which actually killed American citizens. So how about that? Bananas. So don't listen to Biden or Obama pulling the strings behind the scenes through a little earpiece. Don't listen to these fuckers when they try to talk to you about gun control. They are the worst of the worst who have preached the opposite, practice the opposite of what they preach. Let's jump over to the next topic with this MMA fighter who threatened Ben Shapiro, kind of, in a hypothetical. This is a slick editing job. Ben Shapiro does his reactions to things. It looks like somebody took the video of this guy on the Twins pod with the Hodge twins saying he would whoop Ben Shapiro's ass if he laid a greasy finger on Candace Owens and made it like Ben was reacting to it. This is hilarious. Quartering put this out at the beginning of his video covering it.
I tell you right now, you Ben Shapiro.
Ben's
I'll
reaction.
Beat you. Look, if you mess with Candace Owens, I promise you, if you lay one little greasy finger on Candace Owens, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to roll up on you.
Fucking Ben's face. I know it's from a different video, but it's still hilarious to me. Oh, man. So funny. So funny.
Shirts off.
Shirts off, bitch. You fuck with Candace, you fuck with us. This dude looks like a pretty hardcore dude. Clearly not afraid to speak his mind. Right on the edge of threatening. I don't know if it qualifies as threatening because it's a hypothetical, saying technically he would defend Candace if Ben were to lay a greasy finger on her. So I don't know if it really qualifies as threatening. That was cool. Bryce Mitchell, MMA record 9 wins, 1 loss. At a staggering 5'10", weighing in at 145 pounds, fighting out of Cersei. AR, what is that? Arkansas? Or yeah, I think so. Right. Let's jump ahead to the chaos and the actual video clips here.
Quartering health, and you see what's interesting is if we actually look at this clip. Here he is.
When we launch this podcast, it's going to be very controversial.
No, absolutely.
Controversial. I know people is going to attack you. Are you ready?
Yeah, Alicia. They fucked themselves so hard.
I fear God and God alone. I fear no demon in hell. I'll cast them out in the name of Jesus
Love
Christ.
to see it.
So you're not scared of Ben Shapiro?
He's a bitch.
By the way, there's going to be some language here. It's as loud as it goes for whatever for the clip. This is an MMA fighter, so he's going to use MMA language.
Motherfuckers get murdered and
Shapiro's a
touched.
bitch, and let me tell you why he's a bitch. Because ain't he the one always talking about how we need? First off, he's dehumanizing the enemy. He's dehumanizing the enemy. He's saying these people aren't human; they're heathens. They're heathens. That's him justifying his want to go
innocent
bomb them.
civilians, man.
They're humans. You dummy.
They label Palestinians, the people that used to originally live there, amongst the Jews and the Muslims in Palestine. They're labeling them like they're not even citizens of Israel. They dehumanize. They don't even recognize those people as citizens. And then they go in as far as bombing their own people, and they say, "Oh, we fighting terrorism."
And that's the kind of hatred that's going to lead towards World War III. It's a bunch of Ben Shapiros telling you, "Oh, you got to give up your life to go fight my war for me."
100% right.
So ridiculous.
By the way, there are,
like I said in my 2008 Ron Paul song, sending our sons and daughters off to die in the land of sand at the man's demand. Boom. Let's continue.
Political commentators, too, are famously always telling their listeners that they're the ones that should be making the sacrifices and they should quit their jobs and they should take their kids out of kids' sports and they should make all these sacrifices when none of them are going to be on the front line. So I'm always skeptical of those individuals. I mean, they exist, by the way, on both sides of the political
to the rest
aisle.
of the video where he
Just
actually
depends
goes
what
off.
the cause is, right?
This is wild.
All these, pro-power.
All right,
He
here we
wants
go.
you to go save all the Jews over there. By saving the Jews, he means bomb the Muslim kids.
Here, let's rewind a couple seconds. Make
Taxed
sure we didn't miss
of
anything.
Americans to go to Americans.
He wants you to go save all the Jews over there. By saving the Jews, he means bomb the Muslim kids. That's what Ben Shapiro wants, and he's too big of a bitch to come out and say it. I'll say it right to his face. I tell him he's a bitch. He wants to bum off my tax dollars. Hey, does Ben Shapiro weld? Does he do plumbing? Does he do electrics?
Nope.
What does he do for this country? Oh, he sits on his bitch ass and gets my taxes.
I'm not exactly sure how. How does Ben Shapiro get our taxes? I'm not really sure about that, but let me know in the chat if you guys know.
You right now.
Oh, here we go.
Fuck you, Ben Shapiro. I'll beat your ass. And look, if you mess with Candace Owens, I promise you, if you lay one little greasy finger on Candace Owens, I'm going to beat your ass. I'm going to roll up on you, shirts off. I'm going to have the twins with me.
This is fucking great.
Beat your ass because you mess with Candace Owens.
They're like,
shirts off.
look at my boy's reaction over here on the right. That was fucking hilarious.
On Candace Owens, I'm going to beat your ass. I'm going to roll up on you, shirts off. I'm going to have the twins with me. We're going to beat your ass because you mess with Candace Owens.
They're like,
shirts
right
off,
here.
me in the middle. We're going to look like a 6-foot-tall Oreo coming at you, buddy. We're going to stomp your ass to the ground once you mess with Candy, baby.
Holy
I'm telling you
fuck.
right now, I don't like Ben Shapiro. I'll say it to his face. Bring him on the show. Because he wants Christian people in this country that he already steals their tax dollars off of. He's part of this corrupted government. He's a piece of shit just like
She's
the
saying
rest
he's part of the
them.
government
He wants us
somehow.
to go die to bomb Muslim kids for his Jewish people because he's too scared to do it.
I mean, this is true of all.
Hell yeah,
this is
Big
basically
Ugly.
true of all warmongers and warhawks. John McCain
Yeah, I
and
don't
all
know.
these people.
Sounded like he was referring to Ben Shapiro being like in the government somehow. I don't know exactly what he means by that, but we definitely send Israel a lot of money, and a lot of it probably gets sent back and dispersed through the Jewish communities. When I was living down in Brick, New Jersey, right next door, the town next to Brick is called Lakewood, and there's a huge like Orthodox Jewish community down there. And from what I understood, very few of them actually work, and they get funds distributed to them by the synagogues. So I don't know, is that our U.S. tax money coming back from Israel being dispersed through the church? It's an interesting question. I don't really know what's going on with that, but I thought this was freaking hilarious. I don't think it's actually a threat because it was a hypothetical. If you put your greasy paws on Candace, then I'll get you type thing. Nonetheless, hilarious. I like the 6-foot-tall Oreo metaphor. Freaking hilarious. Let's jump over to our next topic. I think this is a post that, where'd it go? Gator sent this video about posting about arming teachers in schools, and it was a picture of 2 pistols. I don't know where it is right now, but let's see if I can find it. Arming schools, teachers, librarians, and it was the weapons that we would give to teachers and librarians if we armed schools. One of which was a regular old pistol. Here we go. Found the equivalent of it. One of them's a regular old pistol, right? For teachers, makes sense. But then librarians get the suppressor because you have to whisper in a library. This is a library. Be quiet. Remember that from All That back in the day? Hilarious show on sketchy Nickelodeon. Holy shit. Yeah. So arming teachers, that's a blueprint right there. Make sure that the librarians get the suppressors. That's the important part about this. Thanks, Gator, for the great meme. We got another story. Let me know how you guys like the pace of today's show. Kind of just bam, 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 moving through the topics. I collect so much stuff that, sometimes I don't get to a lot of it, and it sucks. So I want to try to get to as much as possible. Let's check out this great video. I thought this dude had a hilarious take on this on PBD. Talking about Donald Trump and how he should make a reality show, capitalizing on it if he goes to jail. And listen to what he comes up with for the title for what this show would be. It's freaking priceless.
He goes to jail, it's done. That picture right there,
the mugshot,
it's done. And on top of that, the amount of stories, books, movies, the way it's going to be told 20 years from now,
Thanks,
when he's
Mama
no
Mac.
longer here.
Join the Discord, guys.
We'll be
Link in the
70
description.
years old saying there goes another Trump movie coming up.
If I was him, I would market it. If he actually goes to jail, have a reality show in there and call it Orange is the New Orange.
I mean, I don't have much Trump merch, but I do have this one.
Let me see it. President Trump, Matt. Yes.
Okay.
What bought a shirt.
This only helps Trump. That's ridiculous. You know, the 80% of Trump supporters said they would support him regardless of a conviction. Only 4% said they wouldn't.
He goes to jail.
Fucking hilarious. He should have a reality show in prison. Call it Orange is the New Orange. Oh my God. That's fucking brilliant. That's fucking brilliant. Alpha Boss gets it. That show, Orange is the New Black. Oh my God, dude. Orange is the New Orange. I heard that. I was like, oh, I got to play that on the show. That's brilliant. I don't necessarily agree with that dude's commentary all the time, but that one is spot on. Yeah, man. So good. Let's do a little flashback. Back through time. All the way back to 1983. And let's take a listen to the legendary Paul Newman dropping a whole set of truth bombs regarding geopolitical hypocrisy. Let's check it out. We've talked about Paul Newman a bit. Seems like he was a good dude. Slapshot was an awesome movie. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, plus Newman's Own. All the profits from his food and dog food company going to charity and everything. Paul Newman seems like a good guy. Let's check out what he has to say back in 1983.
The other thing I'd like to address, you know, the whole psychology of this is you don't trust the Russians, you don't do this. That has been so built up in our psyche. And someone mentioned the...
This is right. You know, this is like in close proximity to the Miracle on Ice, the 1980 Winter Olympics when the U.S. beat Russia, and it was like a big thing. U-Town 369, welcome to the broadcast. Good to see you over there on YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Shout out to Jetlag too. Let's continue here.
The Korean airliner. All right. The Korean airliner was shot down. There was a lot of hue and cry and moral outrage, and we got it in the United Nations and so forth. In 1978 or 79, the Israelis shot down a Libyan civilian aircraft because it had violated Israeli airspace. President Nixon sent a wire to Gaddafi and to Sadat apologizing for this incident. There was no talk about it going into the United Nations. The International Pilots Associations had their meeting. There was 102 nations that voted to condemn Israel, and 4 that voted not to, and the American representative abstained. Why? Because we couldn't create an enemy there. But when the Soviets shoot down an airliner, the same situation, we rise in moral outrage against this act. What is the difference? Because it's insistent. We must insist that the Soviets have got to be created as an enemy. Otherwise, if they're not really a big enough enemy, how are we going to get appropriations for more arms? Now, and...
It's like the FBI rigging up vest bombs, putting people on the White House lawn, stopping a terror plot. Turns out they made the bombs. It was inert the whole time. They have to create terror situations to justify their budgets and to justify their own existence. And since the U.S. is peaceful, generally speaking, aside from the crazy communist lefties and everything like that, they have to create and the impression that there is these, terrorist attacks, terrorists everywhere, oh my God, so that they can keep their budgets. White supremacists, oh no, we need billions, give it to us, otherwise the white supremacists are going to kill everybody type stuff. It's ridiculous.
I'd like to get into the other area. I'm sorry if this is a speech and you don't like them, but people keep talking about national security and we got to be tough and we got to be strong. Okay, we're tough and we're strong, and we've released all these missiles now, the intermediate range missile, the Pershing II, and we're going to have more Tridents too. And what was the Soviet response? The Soviet response is to put cruise missile into attack submarines and put more of them off our coast. Now, if someone's going to tell me that that increases our national security, well, I don't know. It's a whole ball game that I don't understand.
I think he was not a pedo, Mom Mac. That's my guess. Some people will do things for kids to get closer to kids and do weird pedo stuff. Other people actually legit care about kids. And I think Paul Newman was one of them. That's just my reading of him as an armchair psychologist. But, anything's possible. We just got to hope that not all of our icons are horrible people. Yeah, make sure to join the Discord, guys. We got a community over there full of great people. Documentaries and resources section, memes, music, entertainment, talk, people shooting the shit. It functions simultaneously as an information war barracks, as well as an information relay outpost to share and spread news, current events, opinions, anything you guys want. Great place to hang out. Thanks for joining us in advance. Link it will be in the description. And a reminder, if you want to support the broadcast, you can head over to our Linktree /CommonCensored. And I've got all the links there for if you want to donate, etc. And all of our places you can watch our show and everything. I'll have to add the Discord and to that as well. I'll do that later. Let's see. What do we got next? A change in tactics. This is an interesting one. This is the real Farley, Brandon M. Farley, Portland video journalist, who's been getting great footage over there in Portland, is reporting on this. This is interesting. A change in tactics. Former Portland Antifa ringleader Luis Enrique Marquez resurfaces in 2024 to say, quote, "We need to retire the black bloc. It's no longer useful for our purposes. It has become a target for law enforcement and a joke to our enemies." Yeah, because you are a fucking joke, bro. A joke. So this is an article that this dude released. Oh God, look at all the slop in his mouth. It's so gross. Gross. Yeah, these people are just pure evil. What are they going to switch? So white block with a hood? Sounds about right. A pointy hood. Oh my God. No, don't agree with this guy. And Jay Sanchez, we need to keep them in their black bloc so we know who they are when we see them. If they abandon black bloc and start doing something else, they'll be able to blend in easier, which we don't need at all. Bayou Gator in the comments talking about before 9/11 when Rumsfeld, this was on 9/10, the day before 9/11, Rumsfeld held a presser saying that the Pentagon had, that there were $2.3 trillion of, quote, undocumentable adjustments, that they lost 2.3 trill. Slam bam, 9/11 and funding for the military industrial complex drooled for how many years? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Gator, $2.3 trillion in undocumentable adjustments, and then the location in the Pentagon where the people were supposedly researching that was hit by a plane, a missile, allegedly, in my opinion, on 9/11, which is bananas. And everybody was killed that was working on locating that money, apparently, and we never heard anything about it ever again. So, super sketchy. Let's jump over to our next topic. This is a good one. We've got NFL great Lawrence Taylor, LT himself, saying he was a Democrat his entire life until he met Donald Trump. But now nobody in his family will ever vote Democrat again. Look at this. This is great. This is what we need. More of this. Love to see it. People are waking up, guys.
I just want to say, I grew up a Democrat.
Good point, Mama Mac.
And I've always been a Democrat until I met this man right here. I'll tell you what. He will not have to worry about nobody in my family ever vote for a Democrat again. Okay?
Hell yeah. People are waking up. So good, man. So good.
Don't you just love that guy?
Yes, sir.
Don't you just love that guy? I tell you, it has been a very exciting day. You guys, not one person left here. You're still here yelling and screaming.
Wildwood, so 100K crowd.
My word is Wildwood, are you in the house?
Yeah.
I can't hear you. Wildwood, are you in the house? Thank you guys for all your support. And how about a great shout out for Metro Exhibits, baby. We made it all happen. All because of you. Thank you.
Boom. So good. Love seeing people wake up. Great guys. What we need. We need more of that, right, Loki? Right, little tweet? I know you agree, don't you? Yup. Let's jump to our next topic. We got Elon Musk calling out Reuters. Hilariously, this is so funny, man. Tell me about yourself. I am dumb. You're hired. Reuters. Sweet, simple, to the point. Beautiful. Nice one, Elon. So we mentioned this earlier. Let's check out what was happening today outside the courthouse as Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek like cake. People still say Vivek. Come on, bro. It's Vivek. We got Vivek Ramaswamy, Rep. Byron Donalds, Rep. Corey Mills speaking outside the Manhattan courthouse, slamming crooked Judge Merchan, the Biden regime, and convicted perjurer Michael Cohen. This article by Jordan Conradson, the intrepid reporter, the dynamo over at the Gateway Pundit, always doing great work. We can see Vivek here. President Trump was back in court on Tuesday as the never-ending Alvin Bragg show trial in New York City prevents him from campaigning across America. The trial against Trump is still The trial against Trump on still undefined criminal charges has gone on now for 4 weeks. This is the definition of election interference. Of course, the mainstream legacy media lackeys are going along with this and reporting it as if this unprecedented attack on Joe Biden's political rival is something quite ordinary in American politics. As the Gateway Pundit reported earlier, Trump was joined by North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, Rep. Byron Donalds, Rep. Corey Mills, and former GOP presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy, and turncoat Speaker Mike Johnson, the worthless GOP House leader who sides with Democrats and neglects his voting base on every issue possible. Before his day in court, Trump slammed Democrats' political persecutions as a substitute for campaigning, and the far left's judge's gag order against him by reading quotes as he did yesterday. Reading others' quotes as he did yesterday. Let's skip ahead to some of these.
How to escape the
some
heat
of this
if you
footage
don't
of
have
these
an air
guys.
conditioner. This only takes 5
After
minutes.
this brief commercial interlude
Tired of hot and
and this
stuffy
life
rooms?
hack.
So this is a shame on the spirit in our country's history, but we will get through it and be stronger because you know who ultimately actually cast the vote on this case? It's not just the jurors in that jury box. It's every one of you at home. It's every American who votes this November to say no to the weaponization of justice. And if you're at home, you may say, you know what, I don't agree with everything Donald Trump's ever said.
Share the
you know what, I may not
broadcast,
agree
guys.
with some of his policies even though they were great policies for 4 years. But you do agree, whether you are Democrat or Republican or black or white or gay or straight or man or woman, that our justice system should be blind to politics. That regardless of whether your last name is Biden or Trump, regardless of whether you've been a politician or not, you get a fair shake in our own legal system.
Booyah, at least you should. But people are seeing that that's not the case anymore. And it's not good, man. It's not good. It's all a confidence system.
How to escape the heat
And when
if you don't
people
have an
lose
air
confidence,
conditioner.
bad things
This only
happen.
takes 5 minutes.
We were talking about that yesterday with the
So
dollar
this is the $40
and how it's
home
going to
security
tank
system
as a
that's taking
result
the
of the
world by
BRICS
storm. It only takes
currency
30
being
seconds to-
deployed. But it also applies with the legal system.
Ladies and gentlemen of America, this trial is a joke. This thing is a farce. We were in there all morning. Michael Cohen basically sat there and said, yeah, he invoiced legal expenses. The Trump campaign, the Trump organization, not the campaign, paid out money in legal expenses. Where's the crime? There is no crime. The only crime that's happening here is this Democrat judge and the Democrat Party prosecuting their political rival right in the middle of a presidential election. The crime here is that the issues facing our nation are not being addressed by the Democrats, but they want to go after Donald Trump. And there's nothing wrong. There's nothing that has been wrong here. Nothing that has been done poorly by President Trump. The only thing that's being done wrong is by this judge. His daughter's making money, raising money for Democrats. And all of the fundraising emails and all the fundraising things are about this trial that his daughter is using. He won't recuse himself. This is a travesty of justice. This is a misuse of the justice system. And look around New York. New York's got plenty of issues. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. You have all of NYPD's finest down here. because of this travesty going on in that courtroom. Meanwhile, the citizens of New York are less safe, and the district attorney in New York is not prosecuting real crime. He's a Soros-backed DA going after his chief political rival in Donald Trump. America is better than this. And so, unfortunately, it's going to take the American people this November to let their voices be heard on this travesty of justice that's occurring and making sure that Donald Trump is the 47th president of the United States. I've never seen anything like it. This is a joke. It is a farce. It is a travesty. We are better than this as Americans. And unfortunately, the Democrat Party has lost their ever-loving minds. And so it's going to take the American people to remind them that justice is supposed to be blind. It is not supposed to be going after political opponents and political rivals. With that, I'll turn it over to my colleague from Florida, Congressman Corey Mills.
You're feeling very sleepy. You want to subscribe to Common Censored. Says Loki. Oh, man. Yeah, craziness.
For anyone struggling with sciatic
Sorry
nerve
for this
pain,
commercials,
do
guys.
not drink this type of milk.
So
Brand new
annoying.
research reveals
Why are American billionaires
Why are
suddenly
American
owning
billionaires
$100
suddenly
million
building? Oh, it's Roger Stone. Roger Stone kicks ass.
So much. What have we learned here today? What we've learned is that Michael Cohen, who has no credibility, who has purged himself multiple times, who has zero integrity, has actually admitted to defrauding the Trump organization. He has listed his invoice as being an actual legal precedent where, in fact, he's now claiming that it's something other than that and that he knowingly and fraudulently put that forward. Look, as we talked about, why do they want this trial to continue? Well, they want it to continue because this is the fundraising source for Adam Schiff, for Biden, and for the Democrat opponents. This is nothing more than election interference at its finest. You are seeing where the weaponization of what was the Department of Justice, now the Department of Injustice, has continued to be utilized against the American people and against the President of the United States. I will tell you right now, the same way that I stand here steadfast behind our president, I know that America stands with him as well. They see this sham indictment. They see this for what it is without any actual substance whatsoever. Keep in mind, they keep actually talking about the FEC violations, but when you're utilizing personal funds or you're utilizing a trust, that is not campaign funding. There is no violation, which is why the FEC never actually even pursued this. And so I think the American people see this for what it is. They want to keep President Trump off the campaign trail. They're seeing what's happening in the swing states across America, and they're seeing exactly that this is draining down assets and resources that can be utilized by the president to continue to forge ahead, to build a stronger economy, to secure our border, and to get our nation back on track. This is a sham, and that is the only thing this is. Michael Cohen has no credibility, no integrity, and this is weaponization against our president.
Thanks, Sheepdog. Yeah, like the video, like the stream, share it. And like Emperor Palpatine said, do it. Oh, man, let's hop over to our next topic for this fine Tuesday evening. We've got an interesting story about Paul Walker. Tina Torres calling out Tyrese Gibson, asking him what happened to Paul Walker. I know a lot of people were really upset with the whole Paul Walker situation. He had a lot of loyal fans. Let's listen to this interesting information. Kind of remindful of Helena Hutchins and Anna Heche, who had supposedly been working together on a documentary about child trafficking before each of their bizarre, unfortunate deaths. Let's see what Paul Walker was up to.
See what Tyrese had said though? He said that, like, Diddy, I'm here for you, my brother, and like he's like wishing him well.
Let's first ask Tyrese what happened to Paul Walker. Let's ask him that.
What do you think happened to Paul Walker?
I mean, the same shit that happens to everybody else who tries to come out exposing stuff. But Tyrese is still alive and standing.
I didn't know that Paul Walker was exposing things.
He was, I guess, he was in partnership coming out with a documentary about child trafficking.
Oh, wow. Did you see what?
Oh, snap. You talk about that. Not good things happen to you, unfortunately. So there's some food for thought. Let me know if you guys have heard anything related to this story about Paul Walker being potentially connected to working on child trafficking documentaries. Alicia, you say Chris Cornell was also working on a child trafficking documentary? Is everybody working on child trafficking? People in Hollywood connected trying to speak out, they keep getting offed and whacked off, and you know what I'm saying. Oh, you got the stuffing. You might have stuffing, but there's just so little meat, you know. With the green cheek, she's got tiny breasts. even for the species, she's a very thin little tweet. Not a lot of food. Stretch those leggies, tweet. Stretch your wingies. Yeah. She's all fluffed up, but if you were to pick off all the little feathers, she'd just be a little string bean. So not a lot of protein, unfortunately. Let's jump over to our next topic with Fredo Cuomo saying they were all wrong about Anthony Fauci. It seems like the PBD Rehabilitation Center is working as Chris Cuomo is trying to launder his appearance and reputation to be anti-establishment at this point. Let's check out some of this.
All of us, do you think if you and I all of a sudden get this desire to go and want to go
Alicia.
party
please
with
post
ravers
it.
for 90 days, every day, okay? I don't know why, but let's just say it happens. And every day they're doing ecstasy and coke. And we're with them 24/7 for 90 days. How long before we were tempted to do cocaine and ecstasy?
I think I'm tempted before you. You probably slap me in the side of the head, which is why I don't do it.
Yeah, but the point...
See, look, PBD is the alpha male in this situation. He's training Chris Cuomo, it seems to me, that he's like behind the scenes just lecturing, molding Chris Cuomo into away from the away from the left and away from the CNN stuff. And I'm not saying Chris Cuomo deserves redemption or anything like that, but it is interesting to watch this process play out, because I think that's what's happening behind the scenes. He's just dominating him and lecturing him and saying, "You're wrong about this. You're wrong about this. Wake up, Chris Cuomo. Wake up."
Is we're both at one point going to be like. The point I'm trying to make to you is, do you think there was an element
of groupthink?
Yes. Okay, that's what people want to hear, because I think, it was kind of like, what do you guys, what are we saying here with, this thing's gonna, Rachel Maddow, the highlights. I don't want to play the highlight reel. You've seen it many times. That goes viral. Oh, it's gonna prevent you from actually getting.
She had it wrong.
Then boom, boom.
She had it wrong. People put up clips of me all the time.
Dude, the Fox got sued $800 million for freaking Dominion. How much did CNN and MSNBC get
This
sued?
is different. There's a material difference, okay? What Fox got jammed up for was knowing something wasn't the way that they were reporting it, but continuing to report it that way for advantage.
You're saying the people.
Well, that's exactly what CNN did, Chris. Come on.
MSNBC, ABC, CBS, CNN didn't know that some of this stuff was real?
I'm saying that the media would love to take new information and use it to hang the government's position. I mean, the media loves doing that. Right. So if we had found out during the time that, hey, they actually don't know how this technology works in this vaccine, we would have gone crazy on it, because the media feeds on accountability, especially when it's low-hanging fruit. What I'm saying is, was there groupthink? Yes, because we didn't have a reason to be suspicious. The Reagan trust but verify. There's no data. Oh, but we've never had this vaccine before. That's not true. They were saying the reason Operation Warp Speed happened so fast is, one, Trump made it happen fast. He removed, obstacles, bureaucratic obstacles, right? Everybody was praising him for it. And that's one thing I want people to remember. You want to come at me, come at me. That's why I'm here. But you do not go after your people the way that you go after me for the same things, even if they had much more responsibility for what was going on than I would ever have. I'm a journalist. I wasn't creating policy. But Warp Speed happened really fast because they also knew the technology, and they'd been playing with it for so long. And they were able to get it done. Now, have they had the right level, the requisite level of curiosity going forward? No. And how do we know? Because the recommendations of how often you have to be vaccinated. Have you noticed how quiet it's gotten? Yeah. That they're not pushing the booster.
Listen, you just defended Fauci, and then you threw Trump under the bus indirectly, and you said, the buck stops with you. You're trying to find a boogeyman to blame China, and then at the same time, I don't think he was pro-China, because to say he's pro-China, he gave more tariffs to China than anybody else. Every other day,
on COVID, he was praising them early on.
No, but he wasn't. The position he had with China was always a person that he kept at a distance like this by giving him tariffs. So he wasn't like
friendly. That's on the business trade side. I'm saying on COVID early on. You can just Google it. Early on, he was saying they're being so cooperative. This is great. China's being great. Then it spread like wildfire.
Then he shuts down China from traveling in.
He tried
and then Nancy Pelosi goes and says this guy goes to China.
Racist. Calm down. Don't listen to him.
And then Anthony Fauci.
But he was wrong. She was wrong.
Was Fauci
She
wrong?
was way more wrong.
Fauci was wrong a ton. They were all wrong.
We're okay
because they were making guesses. And also, but let's just be
they were making guesses, Chris. But yes, they were all wrong. And we also have breaking news of the Democrat ballot harvesters reacting to the high gas prices. Good one, Gator. Oh, man. if you want to check out the rest of that Cuomo video expounding on how they were all wrong. Link will be in the description. But let's jump down to Howard University first, or next. And let's see what's going on down there as chaos hits the university and their whole graduation ceremony gets canceled, much to the dismay of the graduating seniors, who also, to put things in perspective, didn't get to walk in 2020 due to COVID. Personally, I think, who gives a shit? Walking a graduation, like, it's not something that has ever, been like, oh, like a thing that I, thought was important. Well, let's check it out.
Because our relatives sometimes do not know how to act. The fire department is now here to shut us down.
My entire For You page is filled with people speaking about how our graduation getting shut down. And I'm going to speak on it because that was my graduation. And I'm still mad about how things played out yesterday. The way I showed your ass was wrong. Howard does not deserve a pass. They don't get no excuses because if you guys are bragging about having the largest graduating size, the venue should have accommodated to that.
Is it just me, or is this chick's head shaped like an upside down bowling pin? I'm so sorry. Look at the chin and the bulbous face. I don't know. I'm just saying. Bowling pin head over here.
For the way adults acted yesterday, we all knew it was first come, first served. If doors open at 5:30, you cannot come for 5 o'clock and expect to get in. The policy may need tweaking and it may be messed up, but that's just what it was.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We have to go out to Wakanda University, aka Howard University, okay? And before anybody gets offended by that joke, me calling Howard Wakanda University, at least it's not Gaza University.
JJ has had a lot of stuff going on, so she's been busy, caught in the chaos. Threeper, we got to get Threeper back. There was a misunderstanding in the chat and Discord, and he thought that he was being criticized for, somebody was talking about how they don't like when people are advocating violence, against the system, and Threeper thought they were talking about him. They weren't. And I tried to tell him, but he was convinced that it was an attack on him. So he thought that he had offended people in the Discord and was taking a step back. So, let Threeper know that you love him and that you want him back with us. And I'm sure he'll come back because it was just a misunderstanding and nobody was even criticizing him in the first place. But I've been planning on messaging him also to try to get him to join us again because, like I said, misunderstanding. Nobody was meaning to criticize him at all. So Threeper, come on back, brother. We love you.
Which seems to be what most of these Ivy League institutions are, okay, including Duke University, who had a pro-Palestinian protest happen before Jerry Seinfeld gave his speech in which he gave a lesson in privilege, basically arguing that, hey, privilege isn't such a bad thing, contrary to the woke belief that being privileged is not a positive thing or something to be proud of.
Jerry is also serving as our commencement speaker today.
Jerry Seinfeld.
So what's the big deal about our commencement speaker?
That link gator doesn't work.
Our commencement speaker. Aside from the fact that we're perhaps all wondering whether he's wearing a puffy shirt under this.
Privilege is a word that has taken quite a beating lately. Privilege today seems to be the worst thing you can have. I would like to take a moment to defend it. Again, a lot of you are thinking, I can't believe they invited this guy. Too late. I say, use your privilege. I grew up a Jewish boy from New York. That is a privilege if you want.
I was born a poor black boy with no rhythm. Sorry.
To be a comedian.
The jerk.
Thanks. To be a comedian. Too late. I say, use your privilege. I grew up a Jewish boy from New York. That is a privilege if you want to be a comedian.
Boom. Let's
Again,
skip ahead
you know,
to some more stuff about
it's
the
not
graduation
a
being
good
canceled.
look for the pro-black woke revolutionaries. But again, you know, hey, at a lot of these other schools, you also have a lot of chaos too. So it is not just a black school thing. It's just that this is just really bad, okay? Because most of the disturbances are political,
B.
but this is just incompetence.
Make sure to check out Crazy B
We've got a little
Gaming.
bit of an emergency going on, y'all.
A celebration years in the making for these Howard University students coming to an abrupt ending Thursday as these graduates waited to walk across the stage at the Crampton Auditorium. Just outside of the lobby, dozens of loved ones locked out and some trying to push their way in after being told the building was at capacity.
Because of the size of the room and because our relatives sometimes do not know how to act, the fire department is now here to shut us down.
That sounds awful racist to me,
Administrators
lady.
doing their best to let the grads get their special moment and grab their diplomas before they cleared the room, but the damage was done.
Like, while they were doing the keynote speaker, there was like loud banging. Even before that, for like 10 minutes straight, just like boom, 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 boom.
After this commotion, pictures showed the broken glass door left behind.
It's sad right now, Loki.
Oh, yeah.
It's sad.
I'm just heartbroken.
And dreams shattered for grads like Holly Ragunanan and her family, looking to make up for moments missed during the pandemic.
Glass started getting broken. One of my classmates' hands got cut. I didn't even get to walk. I graduated magna cum laude and I didn't even get to walk.
First world problems.
I'm class 2020. I didn't get to walk for my high school graduation. I didn't get to walk for my college graduation.
It's not just
Yeah, that's extremely unfortunate, right?
Is it really, Greg? Who really gives a shit? I mean, it doesn't mean anything. You know, it's not like it has any effect on anything, really. So yeah, sorry, but you know, who really cares? It's not. It's just, you know, pomp and ceremony. It doesn't really actually mean anything. Let's jump over to this next crazy story with this incident that occurred on a bus over in somewhere. I'm not even sure where this happened. I think this might actually be a skit, but it's hilarious nonetheless.
I would like to see the sign that says no hammocks.
We've got a whole.
Where's the no hammock sign?
We got a whole list of things. No.
I can see you. You can't
I don't
see
even
me.
know.
You don't come out of that. I'm not here. The police.
There's all these videos of people in hammocks in hammocks on buses all over the place. This is hilarious. Just spinning around.
I said I won't be stopped. You said
Oh my god.
yeah?
I won't be stopped.
Oh my god.
Thanks, Skater.
What the?
Come on, just drive the bus. Everyone's got places to go.
I don't think we can. Can you get down so we can get where we're going, please?
What?
Dude, please.
I'm staying in the hammock. I'm not moving this bus. You know what? There's AC in here.
Dude, get down.
I'm not getting down.
Get down.
It's not moving.
Get down. We have places to go.
Is it real? Is it fake? I don't even know. Regardless, it's hilarious. And look at this. This is what's this is a good meme from Fallout, the Fallout series. We don't use hurtful labels like chicken fucker anymore. Please use the phrase poultry attracted person. That's right, Paps. We call them Paps now, guys. Paps. Guy's face. Yeah, that other guy, yeah. Hilarious. Sick cocoon, bruh. Who said that? Sheepdog. Yeah, it's hilarious. C-Stock 1976. Good to see you, C-Stock. Crisp in the house. Alpha Boss giant scissors. Like those scissors they use to cut the ribbon when they open town halls and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not going to read this whole next article to you or anything, but I want you guys to know it exists so you can check it out. Oh, look, it's Cheech and Chong ripping the bong. Wayne Allen Root with the #1 story in America. Wayne warns of chaos, crisis, and death coming from Biden/Obama's army of tens of millions of illegal aliens waiting, both outside and inside the USA and Mexico. Or waiting both inside the USA and Mexico for their orders to attack. heading into our presidential election. That's right. This is what I've been saying since the first time I called into Lou Valentino's show, that the borders are open, that there are sleeper cells coming in all over the place. It's just obvious. And if we get involved with the Middle East with the boots on the ground level or something like that, they're going to give the order, launch the attacks. Shit is going to be crazy. So make sure you got food, water, ammo, right, Ed? Let's check out another crazy college graduation video. This is Colin Rugg posting this yesterday. Colin Rugg with 2 L's and 2 G's. New pro-Palestine protester rips up diploma while wearing zip ties at Columbia's commencement ceremony, only to find out that no one cares. Joy Lint Van Hasselt, Masters of Social Work. Yikes. Yeah. Sure, that's a high brain power position, degree. Let's check this out.
Joy Lynn Van Hassel. Bixia Chen. Ida Kamra.
So, I mean, yeah, I can do that with your diploma if I want. It's not like it means anything anyway. Worthless masters in social work. This is the caliber of people, half the time at least, that go into social work. Some people genuinely want to help. Other people is just an easy path to a position of, authority in some sense. I saw a lot of articles, Bayou Gator says, saying UN soldiers were entering as illegals. Who knows, man? Who knows? Oh, that's where you found me, over on Lou Valentino, sheepdog. Well, I'm glad that happened. Oh, no, dude. No need to apologize, Chris, brother. It's good to see you whenever you're, whenever you're here. People have lives. Nobody could be expected to tune in 3 to 5 hours per night, weekdays, to listen to a lunatic ramble. Except for Mama Mac, who somehow puts up with all the chaos. That's right, Mama Mac. Good to see you. Hope your projects are indeed going well. That's right. When you get everything set up with that project you're working on, give me the details so we can pump it on the show as well. All right, let's move on to our next topic. And I just want you guys to check this one out when you have the chance. Wayne Allen Root's a good writer and a smart dude. He went to Columbia at the same time that Barack Obama allegedly did, was taught personally by Cloward and Piven, the Cloward and Piven strategy, which is being used right now to overwhelm and destroy the system. So he's a valuable resource, somebody worth looking into. Check him out, guys. Let's move on to our next topic. We got former CIA agent Larry Johnson. Former CIA analyst Larry Johnson, in an interview with U.S. TV host and blogger Judge Andrew Napolitano, stated that the primary U.S. interest in Ukraine is child trafficking. He added that Western countries will persist in investing in Ukraine due to their interest in the trafficking of children for sex and organ transplants. This is from @ShadowOfEzra on X. Let's check this out. Jeez. As if the whole situation over there wasn't bleak enough already.
Hey, Judge, remember, we've got reports coming out of
Chris.
Ukraine that children are being trafficked by the West, that they're being used for both sex, they're being used for harvesting organs. It's not isolated reports. They're very credible reports on this. And you come back and look at why
Thanks, Alicia.
is the
Sounds
United
hardcore.
States so heavily invested in Ukraine? Because it's not because we're there to, quote, uphold democracy. If we're there to uphold democracy, we'd be attacking Ukraine. Hey, Judge, remember, we've got reports coming.
Kind of like Russia is, in other words. They're the ones upholding democracy. Hilarious.
Coming out of Ukraine, that children are being trafficked by the West, that they're being used for both sex, they're being used for harvesting organs. It's not isolated reports. They're very credible reports on this. And you come back and look at why is the United States so heavily invested in Ukraine? Because it's not because we're there to, quote, uphold democracy.
Yep.
If we're there to uphold democracy, we'd be attacking Ukraine.
Worth playing twice. Important information. Make sure to share that out everywhere. Share the broadcast as well. Thanks in advance for that, all of you censored commoners. This is a call to action for all of the censored commoners to share the broadcast. Like, comment, share, follow. Appreciate it. Help spread the word. People tend to like the show when they know it exists. Just not a lot of people do yet. So you can help change that. I'm relying on you to spread the word. Thanks in advance, because the salt must flow. And we will be handing out red and white pills to the greatest extent possible leading up to the election this fall. Most important election of all time. I think it's probably time to ditch YouTube and Fakebook. Apologize to anybody that's watching over there. It's time to morbid story time. Good to see you. Right when you show up, we're closing YouTube down. Oh, sorry about that. Ammo all day, Big Ugly. That's right. That's the precious metals. Lead is a precious metal in times of crisis. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right. Posting the link to the Rumble broadcast in YouTube and Facebook. Thanks, Mama Mac. Spread the word. Appreciate it. All right, Facebook, the link is up. YouTube, link is up. We're going to go Rumble and exclusive. So sorry if we're ditching you. Click the link and join us. If you can't join us, sorry about that. We'll catch you on the flip side. Until then, let's get